Hello, and welcome back to the next chapter of the White Album 2 manga. We are currently reading through Volume 4, which is the final volume. However, this is not the final chapter, do not worry. But it is a pretty important chapter because we just jumped into the events of Coda in-game, where Kazusa has just met up with Haruki, and as you can see in this scene, he is beginning to lie to Setsuna again. So let's just jump right in. This is session 20, Best Friend for Life. I might not make it in time for the mass. Sorry. I told you, you don't have to apologize. It's just like you to end up taking care of somebody else in the middle of an overseas trip anyway. Don't be so nice to him. How is that person doing? Should be fine. There don't seem to be any broken bones or anything. It should definitely be there doesn't seem. Thank goodness. Anyway, I promise I'll meet up with you later, okay? Yeah, I'll be waiting. That was a lie. I got the first aid kit. Can I come in? I told you, you don't have to go that far. But we have to disinfect it and put a poultice on at least. Dude, Haruki just injects himself into other people's lives sometimes. Like, you are not a doctor. You do not need to do this. He is choosing to. He likes to play victim by being like, I had no choice. I had no choice. You absolutely had a choice. You don't have to do this. Some gratuitous feet pics. Fine, get in here. I'm cold. All right. Who are you here with? Huh? Why? Well, this is a twin room. You really want to know that badly about the guy I brought with me? Look at Haruki's face. Awkward. Hey, I'm kidding. It's my mom. She got dragged off somewhere yesterday. Oh. What about you? You're here with Setsuna, right? Yeah. I should have known this topic would come up if I asked. Are you two, married? Or I'm planning on proposing to her soon. This is such a big decision in the game, whether or not you tell Kazusa you're proposing to her soon, or you just don't mention that at all. Good for him for being honest. No kidding. That's great. Aww. We know she's lying, obviously, like she's still in love with Haruki, but this is the kind of response that you would expect from a high school crush, right? Like, you've moved on, you have your own lives, you're happy for each other. In a normal, healthy dynamic, this would be a great response. Suddenly, the ring in my pocket started to feel much heavier. Well, I guess I'd better... Wait, Kazusa, are you still asleep? The mass is over already. Hello, Mom. Oh, dear. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. No, he's just treating me. You're looking a little happier than that. Shut up. I was a bit worried, but I suppose everything will be all right now. What will be all right exactly? But it was supposed to be tomorrow, Guitar Boy. Why are you here already? What, tomorrow? Kazusa-san was injured, and I happened to run into her on the way to Mass. Happened to. I'm all done, so I'll get going now. See you tomorrow. Wait, Haruki, could you explain a little? Kazusa is so in the dark about things. Then again, Haruki is very much in the dark about things too. The only one who's in on this little scheme so far is Kazusa's mom. In the end, I didn't give Setsuna the ring. I couldn't even tell her I'd seen Kazusa. Having finished my work, I returned to Japan, assailed by a murky sense of self-loathing. So this is huge, right? Haruki felt confident enough in their relationship to plan to propose to her, right? The ring was literally in his pocket, and he was going to propose that night. But just running into Kazusa for like maybe an hour already like ruined his nerves and gave him cold feet. And now he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to get married because I still have feelings. That's a huge deal. That's a huge coincidence. Several days later. Hey, Kitahara. Kitahara! Wake up out of your daze. Yes? What is it? Something's been weird with you ever since you got back to Japan. Sorry about that. I must be a little jet-lagged still. It's been a few days. Are you sure you aren't just fatigued? By the way, about this interview with Kazusa Toma, you didn't make up anything that you forgot to ask about, right? No, of course not. I figured. But it did say that her next performance in Japan was unconfirmed. Well, there's just been an official announcement and she's going to be performing here in a month. What? So this is something they really grazed over in the manga. Yes, the day after that chance meeting with Kazusa, he didn't know it, to his credit, but he had an interview scheduled with Kazusa. That's what his company was talking about. And so they didn't meet just once. They met twice. And they hung out during the interview. They had their bickery back and forth moments. And then after the interview, Haruki was like, do you want to hang out? Can I hear you play the piano? Like, it wasn't just work. That's the thing. And then he went back to Setsuna and he's like, I'm sorry, Setsuna. I'm sorry. And she's like, why do you keep apologizing? That's a really important part that they kind of like, shoop, not important in the manga. But I was sure. Well, she's Yoko Toma's daughter. It really must have been a rushed decision. Kazusa Toma is in Japan as of today. The plan is to meet with her at the concert for an exclusive interview. Can we count on you for that, Kitahara? He thought it would be the last time he saw her. He thought he wouldn't be tempted anymore. And yet. No, I'm sorry. My workload is about to put me over the edge as is. I see. That's too bad. With the incredible response your article about her drew, we were hoping... Setsuna Ogiso. Hey. Don't look so destroyed, Haruki. You still have a beautiful, amazing girlfriend. Should be fiancé. But at least your girlfriend. Sorry to call you out so suddenly. I just saw the news and I couldn't sit still. Did you see the announcement about Kazusa's concert? Man, Setsuna's able to get over things and be cheerful. Haruki's just like, ooh, I had a secret rendezvous with her. Come on. Isn't it crazy? She placed in the Giovanni International Piano Competition. Apparently, only 8 Japanese pianists have ever placed in it. And now that Kazusa is world famous, she's coming back to Japan to play piano. It's like a dream. Talking about Kazusa is making it hard to breathe. I can't hide it anymore. Setsuna. Actually, I saw Kazusa. The night we were planning to go to the mass at Strasbourg. I knew it. This is another big turning point in the game. You have to make the decision. Do you want to be honest with Setsuna? Or do you want to keep it a secret? That is very important in game. I mean, I had a feeling. I wish I could have seen her too. Setsuna. Although, maybe I was the only one who felt that way? That sucks. Like, there's no way around it. Me, personally, I think it's healthier for none of them to really interact at this point. But they were really close friends. And so if they want to move forward and they want to, like, okay, get over the past, Setsuna deserved to have been a part of that. Setsuna deserved to have been able to see Kazusa and catch up and be like, oh, how are you? Like, how are things? Obviously, I don't think it's the best option because Kazusa would just kind of sit there as the third wheel feeling awkward and sad. But it's better than just Kazusa and Haruki talking secretly. Sorry, I can't quite get my thoughts in order right now. When I do, I'll get back to you. I'm gonna head home now. I don't know whether telling her the truth was the right or wrong thing to do, but I'm sure it was better than continuing to lie. Sure, I'll be waiting. Agreed. You did something crappy. I'm glad you told her. Because if you don't end up telling her, you can't really get on Setsuna's true route, because it just continues being a secret until it's too late, you know? Whether it was really for Setsuna's sake, or whether it was just to make myself feel better. When I'm at home, the self-loathing torments me more. That day, I couldn't make myself want to go home, so I fled to Yickdonald's to keep working. Not McDonald's. No. That would be a copyright infringement. We are going to Yickdonald's. Hello? Hello? Setsuna? Oh, that's not Setsuna. Haruki. Sorry, it's not Setsuna. I knew I couldn't rely on you. Kazusa? What the hell was with that reporter? I told him to back off, but he kept following me. I dropped my bag. I lost my phone. In those words, muttered like someone having a nightmare, I got the feeling that something serious had happened. Yeah, I mean, Kazusa actually calling you for help means something pretty serious has happened. Hey, where are you right now? Beats me. I mean, I seriously don't know. Aren't there any landmarks around? I can see a McDonald's from here. Without even thinking about it, I gave her a hand. A yak? McDonald's. Food, Haruki. God, you had me worried for nothing. That's a hell of a thing to say to someone who's sick. Just shut up and make that nasty vongole rice soup. She wants his home cooking. It's so obvious. It's so obvious she still has a crush. According to Kazusa, the media were chasing her down. And then she got cold while she was running away, so she took refuge in that phone box. Then she got a fever from being out in the cold that long, so I brought her home to warm her up. That wasn't wrong, right? That's what you're supposed to do, right? Again, Haruki does not need to take responsibility for this personally. Now, if she had called him and was like, I'm in trouble, I don't know what to do, I need help, that's fine. Still, given their past, it's a questionable decision, but I get it. But you could have just taken her back to her hotel room, bought her some warm tea and some Tylenol. You don't need to personally take her home and give her home cooking. Come on, are you serious? It's hot, so be careful. Whatever. Disgusting as usual. Oh, thanks. She's such a tsundere. She really is. And yet she can't stop eating it. And suddenly it's all gone. Guess it was tasty enough. Shut up. Hey, no, you need to lie down. I put out a change of clothes for you on the bed. I know. Hey, Haruki? Can I ask you something? Sure. These are girls' pajamas, right? Setsuna's? Well, I figured. This feels so wrong. This is going far beyond just helping an ex, you know? Bringing her home to your own apartment, feeding her home-cooked food, letting her sleep in your bed, wearing your girlfriend's pajamas. The same girl who you cheated on with the girl in question. So, no, this is so wrong. Haruki does all these mental gymnastics to be like, I'm just being helpful. But no, this is 100% wrong. Ding dong. Kazusa's mom's like, oh. Sorry. If I knew you were coming, I'd have woken her up. How long has this been going on? Kazusa's open mouth, sleepy face is so cute. Almost 12 hours now. That long? Maybe I should doodle something on her face. Wow. This is really unbelievable. Hey, will you keep looking after her like this? Don't even joke about that, Yoko-san. I'm serious. Did you really turn down that exclusive interview, guitar boy? I have too much else going on. You really hate the thought of hanging around with her that much? That's not what Well, I want everyone to know the true face of Kazusa Toma. As you know, the girl is frequently misunderstood. I know she's likely to have a lot of secrets dug up and exposed from here on out. And coming under blows like that, she's timid and easily hurt. It'll leave her completely ragged. So, before that happens, I want you to show everyone, and Kazusa herself, the side of her that appeals to you so much. The side she's only ever shown you. You can consider this job your farewell to her. Now, an important point that isn't mentioned here is when Haruki was talking to Hamada-san about the job, it was just supposed to be like a backstage interview at the concert. What it actually entails and what Yoko's actually alluding to is it's not just the backstage concert, but they wanted an exclusive article that took up pretty much an entire magazine about Kazusa's day-to-day life, about who she is as a person. And this would require kind of being Kazusa's personal assistant, following her around every day, being next to her every day. And that's why Haruki was like, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Because that's a huge deal. Being around Kazusa so much of the day, every day, while Setsuna's not talking to him, that's a huge critical decision. Why the manga decided to skip over that, I'm not 100% sure. Because now Yoko's actually talking about it, even though it wasn't mentioned earlier. But it is a huge decision for Haruki to make. If I were Setsuna, I'd be absolutely betrayed by him saying yes to it. Like, yeah, it's work, but at the same time, this is optional work. You don't have to take responsibility for every little thing that regards Kazusa. Please, let her go. Well, I'll be waiting for your answer, reporter Kitahara. Like Yoko-san said, I still haven't cut Kazusa loose. After the day we were in each other's arms at the airport, we never once promised to stop thinking of each other. I mean, I think it was pretty clear you cut her loose until you went back to her hotel room and started rubbing her feet. And then you invited her back to your apartment and dressed her in your girlfriend's pajamas. These are not cutting her loose. No, I don't think Haruki necessarily needed to straight up say, hey, Kazusa, like, I'm leaving you. They were never together. That much is obvious. They've been apart for like 5 years. But now he's giving her mixed signals. Now is the problem, not the past. Now is the problem. If that's been keeping Kazusa bound, then I have to let her go and bid her farewell for real. After that, a strange shared life began for us, what we would call close coverage. AKA, he has just chosen to accept the job of being with Kazusa 24 hours a day and getting information from her. Don't just eat the meat. Shut up. Ding dong. Kitahara-san, are you there? If I just put it through here, will he find it? Honestly, where could he be this late? The fact that Kazusa is nervous about anyone who knows Haruki finding out about her being there just kind of proves that, like, maybe they shouldn't be as close as they are, at least secretly. Whatever. Your girlfriend is going to be there. You better show up. A ticket? Ah. I'm back. Haruki. What's wrong? Did your fever come back? No. Another huge thing here, and another difference I'm not entirely sure why they did there, is that when Tomo came in the game, she actually ran into Kazusa and was like, oh, do you know where your neighbor is? I need to give this to him. Oh, can you give this to him? And like met her face to face. She thought that she looked familiar, but she didn't recognize Kazusa right off the bat. But that becomes an important part later on when she's like, hey, I think I might have saw Kazusa. So it's interesting the manga was like, no, they didn't see each other. You know? I want you to tell me what's been going on with you two for the past 5 years. I had no idea why Kazusa had brought this up so suddenly, but from that serious look in her eyes, I knew that the time had come to tell her everything. No more lies. How I kept hurting Setsuna for 3 years and stole her song from her. How the snow thawed and she was able to sing again. How after we graduated, we both got so busy with work that the time we had to spend with each other lessened, and we couldn't keep up with the changing in circumstances. And still, together, we managed to overcome that difficulty so common among lovers. After I told her all of it, Kazusa gave a small sigh. Here's your reward for spilling all that. Huh? Someone slipped it through the mail slot. I mean, you get to hear your true love sing, right? That's great. You should both take a bouquet with you. Make sure you hold her real tight. I know she'll be happy. Like, I get what Kazusa is trying to do. She's kind of trying to push Haruki towards Setsuna, because that's the easier way. If Haruki agreed to be pushed a little bit towards Setsuna, it would be easier for Kazusa to break herself off. But now she has hope. As Haruki said, he's stringing her along, and that's hard for her. Oh, no, my work. I'm going to stay at the studio tonight. Should be back tomorrow evening. So don't come after me. I couldn't possibly tell her right now. But for that matter, with the life I've been living lately, do I even deserve to show my face around Setsuna? When I'm done with work, no. When Setsuna contacts me, I'll tell her. Until then, I'll deny myself her singing voice. Listen, the reason they're having problems right now is because Haruki secretly met up with Kazusa and didn't tell her till way later. So they're not talking right now, right? Now, he's again secretly meeting up with Kazusa, albeit now it's like every day. Also, they failed to mention the fact that Kazusa's now living next door to Haruki, thanks to her mom butting into her business. She literally lives right next door in the same apartment complex as Haruki. And they spend pretty much every waking moment together, even like 2 a.m. mishaps. They're both hungry, they want to eat curry. Didn't even mention the fact that Kazusa spilled curry all over herself and was in the shower and had to like get help being washed. Actually, no, that is later. But the point is, the manga's grazing over just how close Haruki and Kazusa are. And it's a huge problem because you might think like, oh, this isn't that big a deal. Like, it's just work. But no, they're really, really becoming too close. It's dangerous. Meanwhile, in Setsuna's life, and okay, the manga's just gonna breeze over this. Setsuna's concert, which Tomo had given Haruki tickets for, Kazusa attended. Look at her, there she is. Haruki didn't go. I'm back. Wait, why am I even saying, hey? What's with that face? I told you I'd be back in the evening. Well, I guess. Hey, the ticket? Yeah, I took it. I wanted to see Setsuna too. Did you talk to her? Nah, just listened from a distance. I see. Setsuna was really sparkling. When I thought about how there were 3 years worth of tears hiding in the shadow behind it, I felt happy seeing her smiling and singing, but my heart hurt. Do you remember what I said when I joined the light music club? She could be my worst enemy, or the greatest friend I'll ever have. One of those. Well, the best friend thing may not have worked out, but even though that was my fault, I don't want to become her enemy now. Yeah, so maybe you should like go see her, perhaps, and be like, hey, Setsuna, I am in Japan again. I know things are complicated, but I just wanted to see you because I value our friendship. Can you imagine if Kazusa had did that, how differently things might have turned out? But no, instead she's hiding in Haruki's apartment. I can't do that. Make up with her, will you? I'm sure she's shaken it off by now. She could forgive you before the day is over. And when you do make up, don't ever let go of her again, okay? It's all right. After the concert next week is over, I'll leave. So bear with it until then, Haruki. With that sad smile on your face, which one of us is bearing with it? Which one of us is struggling to endure? Yeah, she is, because you are giving her hope. You are keeping her on a string that you are going to change her mind and choose her. You need to set the record straight because you are the guy in the middle of these two women. And I'm sorry. Before you and Setsuna make up, please, just once, let me... Kazusa. She was so sweet and pitiful that I... Danger zone. Oh no, don't. Haruki. There is a line that needs to be drawn. And he is just like ripping up the paper that has the line on it. We can't, Haruki. You have Setsuna. Only once. Don't say anything. Do not say a word about this to Setsuna. Haruki. I hate Haruki. I hate it. God, he's a despicable person. It's time for the closing party. Coming. Sorry, Haruki-kun, just hang on a little longer. Setsuna has nothing to apologize for. She has no idea. This poor girl, dude. Well, with that said, thank you so much for being here with me on this chapter of the final novel from White Album 2, and I'll be back with the next chapter shortly. So until then, hope you take care. See you.